The timesheet function in Business Central can be used by resources to enter their time consumed on jobs, assembly orders, service orders, and so on. So let's have a look how to use it. And I already prepared most of the setup, so let me go to resources first. And I've configured Steven to use timesheets. So here you can see that the use timesheet field is enabled, and I'm both the timesheet owner and approver. Now, this is because of my training setup. I only have one user in my demo database, but in real life, in most of the cases, you will probably choose another approver than the user, of course, the owner. All right, but again, for this example, this is just fine. And let's now go and create timesheets. So that's something that you can do by clicking here on Manage Timesheet, Create Timesheets. Or if you're not using the same role center, you can of course use the search function. So in this case, I would like to create 4 timesheets with the first date on April 6th, which is a Monday. So let me quickly show you. So it's a Monday. So 4 weeks starting on April 6th. Now, an interesting field is the create lines from job planning field, because if you already have job planning lines, Business Central will automatically create create timesheet lines of them. All right, so let's just leave it enabled. That's fine. So I will click on OK, and now you can see that 4 timesheets have been created. So and this means that every resource that has the Use Timesheet field enabled on the resource card can now enter timesheets. And Steven is one of these resources. So let's have a look at how Steven can enter his timesheets. So I will search for timesheets. Here you can see now the different timesheets created by the administrator. And now Steven can start in the first week. So let me just open the timesheet. And there we go. Now you see that we don't have any planning lines or timesheet lines based on planning lines here, because that's because of the fact that for this week there are no job planning lines for Steven, but that doesn't mean that Steven cannot enter time for this week. So let me show you. By clicking on type, you can enter the type of timesheet line. So for example, a job or absence or assembly. So in this case, I will of course use job. And then by clicking here on the Assist Edit on the description field, you can select the job number. So for example, set up work areas, and the job task number. So for example, the analysis. So and even though Steven is not planned for this job task, he can still enter time for this job task. All right, so let me click on OK. Next, Steven can enter, for example, that he spent 2 hours on Monday and then half a day on Tuesday. Next, we can go to the following line. We can enter another job. So for example, job number 10. And there Steven worked on, let's take reclaim bricks. And on Wednesday, he spent the whole day on this task, and so on and so on. All right, so when these timesheet lines are entered, the resource must submit them. So by clicking here on process, I can select submit. Next, you can select whether you want to submit all of them. So that's fine. So I will click on OK, and everything is now submitted. Now, submitted means that these lines become available for the timesheet manager. So remember, on the resource card, you can enter the owner and the manager. So now I'm the manager, which means that by clicking here on Manage Timesheet, I can go to the Manager timesheet. And here I can see now the timesheet entries of Steven. So now it's my task to approve or reject this. And I can do this line by line. So for example, for the first line, I can click here on Process. I can reopen the line if I would like to change it. I can reject the line if I'm not okay. Or I could approve the line if everything seems fine. So in this case, let's just approve it. So and I will approve both lines at the same time. There we go. And now they are approved. Now, because they're approved, it doesn't mean that we already assigned them to the job, because now we have approved timesheet lines, which we can retrieve in the job journal. So, and once posted from the job journal, they will be posted as usage to the job. And that's something that we will see in one of the following units.